every year I lose 15 to 20 pounds and I get shredded. And this is something that I've been doing for 10 years now is I focus once a year on getting lean. And I don't do it just because of the leanness. In fact, that's really not the most important thing for me. The most important thing for me is just dialing in my commitment to my nutrition and dialing in my dedication and my discipline, really. Because I feel like for me, during most of the year when I'm training and getting stronger, I kind of eat whatever I want, and my diet's kind of all over the place. I get stronger, I feel great, I feel good in the gym, I build some muscle, but for me, I also like to maintain a level of body fat where it doesn't get too high, but it's also not super low. I've always been in some sort of middle ground. But I like to go to the extreme and get a six pack because I think that is hard. It takes discipline and it takes another level of fitness, of dedication to your fitness rather. So I just wanted to share with you my journey and what I do to get started. Number one, I find a time of the year where I want to get lean. For me, the best time to get lean is 3 months before summer-ish. March, April, that's the best time for me personally. I don't really have anything special going on that time of the year. There's no big events. There's no big holidays I've got to worry about. Like, I can't eat. If you're trying to get lean over Christmas, it's a little bit harder. If you're trying to get lean before Thanksgiving or even in the New Year, sometimes I don't really vibe with the New Year either. Because still you got Valentine's Day coming up, but I feel like from March on, there's really not much event wise, like there's no big holidays. So for me, that's a perfect time to get lean. So I love to focus on that time. I define that period. So is it 6 weeks? Is it 8 weeks? How long is it going to take for me to get lean? I judge my leanness by my body fat, not necessarily how much I weigh, because I do strength training, and in strength training, you're going to be building muscle every year, ideally. The first time in the gym, I weighed 140 and I gained like 10 pounds that year. I weighed 150. The next year in the gym, I was up to 155, 160. The next year in the gym, I was up another 5 pounds. So right now, when I'm at my leanest, I'll probably be around 180. Right now, I'm about 195. So my journey down to 180, it's going to be about 10 weeks, maybe 12 weeks at a nice, consistent, slow pace because I'm not trying to go to extremes. But I like to kick it off with a 6-week intensive period where I really dial in my nutrition for 6 weeks. I track all my calories. I make sure that I'm within my calorie range. I make sure that I'm losing weight. So a couple of things that I like to do is I track my weight every single day in the morning on an empty stomach. I go to the bathroom, I do it naked, I jump on that scale, and boom, there we have it. There's my weight. That gives me an objective number for my weight, and I do it every single day. I don't do it once a week because what I realized is when I started tracking my weight, it would fluctuate a lot. And as long as the fluctuations were going down, that was important. But I can't let a high day on the scale derail me or a low weight on the scale get me all excited, because I know that with that low weight on the scale is also going to come with a fluctuation up, most likely, because I find that the weight's going to fluctuate downward, up and down. So weighing myself every day, I get to see what my weight trends look like. So what I look for in the weight is I see a weight high during the week and a weight low during the week. And as the weeks progress, I make sure that the high gets lower and the low gets lower, right? So I can weigh everywhere. Like, for example, this week I weighed 197, then I weighed 196, then I weighed 195, then I weighed 193, and then I went back up to 195, and then went back down to 194, then back up to 195. And then today I'm 192.8. So 192.8 was my new weight low. So that's probably the most important number for me for the weight low. And then my weight high was 197. So I know that my fluctuating weight this week should be lower than that. So this week I should probably be in the 196 for the high, and then maybe 191 for the low, possibly. Who knows? I make sure I'm tracking it, and then I make sure I track my calories I'm eating every single day. So calories I'm eating, I track through my FitnessPal. My FitnessPal is probably the best thing that you can use for tracking your calories. They've been out forever. They have a pretty cool database. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it or anything. It's a great app, and I really like to use it. And then I also track my Fitbit I track how many calories I'm burning, essentially. So I can see what my activity level is. I can see how many steps I'm getting in. So it's a great way for me to check those things. Now, assuming that my calorie burn is here, I have to eat this much to lose weight. If my calorie burn is here, if I eat this much, I'm probably going to maintain my weight. If my calorie burn is here and I eat this much, I'm going to gain weight. So for me, I have to make sure that my calorie burn is higher than my calories eaten. So I check my watch at the end of the day. I make sure I'm at in a deficit, they call that, and I just keep cruising forward. And then surely, as I've witnessed in my own journey, as well as coaching hundreds and hundreds of clients the same way, you'll see your weight start to drop. But you have to be consistent. That's the number one most important thing, is you got to be consistent with being in a deficit. Is if you have a couple days on the weekend where you're kind of eating a lot, it's going to really slow your progress and it's going to derail you. So that's why I like to think of this as like a 6-week intensive, dial in 100% deficit, be in a deficit every single day, whether it's 500 calories, 200 calories, 1,000 calories, it does not matter as long as you're in a deficit, because you will start to lose weight. And assuming that you're being consistent, the weight loss will continue over the time period. But again, weight loss is different than scale weight, right? So make sure that you weigh yourself every single day. So right now I'm about, this morning I was 193 on the scale. I hit a low of 1 point last week. So I'm going to see what my scale weight does from here forward. So I'll be sure to check in with you guys and show you where I'm at. Let me just do a body comp check. This is where I'm at. Still got a lot of chubs on me. Okay, I store fat in my back right here. It's not a lot of chubs, but for me, it is a lot, because I know what my body is capable of. I know I usually will have a 6-pack at some point. So I'll check in with you guys. Let's get it.